And today's episode of the Riderflex podcast is sponsored by our friends at Ready List Sports. Really love what Chad Freehoff, the CEO, and his team are doing over there. It's an interactive playbook, learning and testing technology designed to drive engagement, comprehension, and safety. If you're a football fan of any age, youth, high school, college, pro, we encourage you to check them out at readylistsports.com. And on today's episode of the Riderflex podcast, hey, stop sending me cold messages through LinkedIn. Will you? Just please stop. Stop it. Oh, you don't know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. You ready? For everybody listening to this episode that uses LinkedIn, right? We all know that you can send messages through LinkedIn to your connections or even your second or third level connections if you use what they call in-mails. So you can send messages, right? Stop sending me cold messages that aren't personal, right? Those automated messages that you can just tell you're, copying and pasting, I never answer those, ever. You're just wasting time. Seriously. By the way, when you connect with me, don't send me like a salesy email like 30 seconds after you connect with me. Now, I'm not a tech expert here, but I'm pretty sure there's software that does that automatically for salespeople, right? It lets them connect with people, and then as soon as the other person hits accept on the connection request, boom, it sends your sales email. Guess how often those work on me? Just take a guess. Never. Never. Like if you send me a connection request and then 30 seconds later I'm getting a sales email from you, chances of me responding to that are like zero. So you can just stop. Whoever built that platform or that automation should be shot, I think. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but seriously, come on. Nobody answers those, right? Anyway, back to my original point, which is cold LinkedIn messages of any kind. Like you're like, hey, I'm looking for a job. Hey, I want to sell you something. Whatever. At least be personal about it, right? Give it some sort of warm, personal feeling. Do a little bit of homework. Like maybe you start off with, hey, Steve, like actually mention my name in the message. That might help. Okay. And then you might say, hey, Steve, my name's Johnny. I live in Chicago. I'm in the retail management industry. I happen to look at your careers page on Riderflex, your website, Riderflex. I checked the job postings there already. I didn't see anything that matched my skill set that you currently have open, but I'd really love to get my resume in your database for future consideration. Thank you so much for your time. Now that is a warm email. Somebody actually took the time to craft an email that was personal, right? They actually checked the website. They did a little homework. That's a personal message. That might get my response. Let me give you an example of one that does not get my response. Okay, you ready? Here it is. My name is Bobby. I'm in the gaming industry and I'm looking for a job in San Francisco. That's it. That's the message. No like, hey, Steve, no, thank you. No, hey, I checked Riderflex. Nothing. Those kind of messages, I don't know why people waste their time doing that. Seriously, you're just burning minutes. There's no sense in even sending that kind of message. Do a little bit of homework, make it personal, right? Put some sort of warm communication in there and you might get a response. By the way, a couple of other tips on this. This always helps. If you can tug at the person's emotions a little bit, right? When you're sending them a message, like, I don't know, do something to compliment them, whatever it might be, them or their company, like a little something, right? To just compliment them to get their attention. That helps. Plus it shows that you did some homework on them, right? And the other tip I want to give here is make sure you're emphasizing what you can do for them. So many LinkedIn messages are people just taking, or they're asking for something. They're trying to take. They're not giving. So when you send a message, Is it warm? Have you tugged on their emotions? And have you offered to give them something or help the person you're sending the message to in some way? That might actually get a response. But the cold messages, you're just wasting your time. I get them every day. I probably get 20, 30 cold messages every day. Guess how many I read? None. And there is your Riderflex tip of the day.
The Riderflex podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviews. Our show can be heard just about anywhere these days, but you can visit riderflex.com and click on the podcast page to hear all the previous episodes and learn more about the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Contact us at the email address info@riderflex.com or 888-964-5876. Thanks so much for listening, and if you enjoy our show, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes.